Hi everyone, let's make an interactive card today. I'm using the Unity Stamp Company Beer Me stamp set today, and I cut out 3 of these, and I'm going to color them with my Olo markers. I'm trying to make this look as tasty as possible. And I've got 3 because I kind of want to do an accordion fold out, so let's see if I can make this work. I had an idea in my mind and I wasn't sure if it was going to work out, so you can watch me struggle. Just adding a little bit of that light yellow, and then miraculously, all the internet magic, and you get 3. So I'm scoring some scrap paper. They're about 1 inch by a half inch, and I'm just scoring it close to the middle. And what I'm gonna do is I also, when I actually cut the beer mugs out with my scan and cut, and when I did that, I put in a sheet of blank paper afterwards, and it cut out the white pieces for me. And so what I'm gonna do is sandwich those little scrap pieces in between the two so it has a nice finished look, and then you end up with a little hinge. So these are going to be little hinges. So I'm trying to line up the pieces to see if I can get this lined up, and then I'm just going to sandwich that little piece in there. And then now I have my little hinge, and you can cut off the edges a little bit, just as long as you don't cut, obviously, the whole fold. And then I'm lining this up to see how I would make the other side flip out. And so now I'm going to have, okay, I've got the first part of the accordion done. And then I haven't put that second piece of white piece on the back of this one yet because I need to attach the other little hinge piece. And so I would, on this side, it's not the handle that goes together, it's the cup. And the cup actually, in the center where I was going to do it, it curves in a little bit. So I decided to cut the piece off a little bit so that it actually connects at the foam top and then at the bottom where it flares back out again. So it still has the support of being connected, and yeah, so gonna work just fine. Always got to be willing to work it out a little bit. And so I did trim off that bottom little edges that were sticking out, but up there by the foam, you can't really trim anything. So it's going to look fine. So then I'm sealing that off so you have a nice finished look and you can't see those hinges. And then I also am going to have a place where I could write something on. So I want them to know that they can pull this out. So I took the Pear Blossom Press pull stamp out of their stamp set. Love them for an interactive. And then I just used a 3/4 inch punch and just punched it out so that that pole was at the top of the circle, and then I slid that in between. I probably should have told you not to finish that earlier. And, and I actually was able to pry the glue off a little bit and shove that under there. So I'm gonna make the card base, and so I'm using the Beer Me paper pack that has a lot of fun details, and then I'm gonna cut out, using the postage stamp nesting dies. And if the wonderful thing about postage stamps is that if you just cut it down the middle and just offset it a little to the left and right, it makes the perfect little mini border if you're looking for that look. So that's what I decided to do today. And then I'm just using my Olo markers, matching up a little bit for that paper so that, because I didn't actually cut that out, cut out the handle, but you can always match it to the paper. So easy peasy. And then I did the same effect with a smaller postage for that sentiment, another beer older and another beer wiser. And then I decided I wanted to do another interactive on the inside because why not also say beer me? So what I'm doing right here is I'm just lining up so that I have enough room for there to be a stop point behind the beer mug and then also still be able to pull it out from the front. So I'm going to use that same pull stamp, and then I'm going to trim this off and round it to be another little pull tab. And then I'm going to use my X-Acto knife and cut a slit right here in the right in there in the handle, and then we're going to slide it back behind. And then once I get this lined up, I'm just going to make some little guide pieces with some scrap paper. You could use foam as well, but I'd kind of like to mail this, and I feel like this accordion fold is already going to be a little thick, a little heavy. So I'm just gluing down some little guide pieces to make it stop at the end. and then also to make sure it doesn't wiggle back and forth. And then you'll see me fix this because when you pull this, you can see right here that now it's going to be able to wiggle and kind of hit those side pieces. So I really should have put them further to the right, but I'll go ahead and fix it. So I made the little stop that makes it not come out of the handle. And then now I'm going to move these up so that they're guiding over on the right instead. And then ta-da! Luckily, nobody's ever going to see that back, so we're good to go. So then I'm just going to put the glue on the guide pieces and then all around the perimeter. This is me thinking if I should be able to glue the handle or not, and I decided yes. And then I'm holding that down and then making sure this still moves. Voila! Super excited. And then a few baubles, and here it is. I'm so happy this worked out. I really took a chance. I hope you are inspired and hope you make it interactive. Thanks for watching and hope to see you soon. Bye.